Hey Joe, it's Folks here. Today's video has been highly requested. We're talking about these faux leather journals from the print-on-demand company Shineon today. If you were to sell 5 of these per day at Shineon's recommended retail price, that would equal over $2,000 in profit per month. We also have this article here talking about the extreme growth within this industry. And obviously, as print-on-demand sellers, we've been able to sell journals like this for a little while now. But like I said, today we're taking a look at these new faux leather journals from the print-on-demand company Shineon. Not only is this a nicer and more premium item, but you can sell it for more, which means you can make more profits. This shop here is selling the journal for $31.49. I also found this Amazon listing here where they have it listed at $29, which is the recommended retail price from the print-on-demand supplier. And I also found this Shopify store here selling the product for $33.95. In the video today, we will do a tutorial on making designs. I'll also give a bunch of advice when it comes to actually making good designs to sell on this product, and we'll break down some niches as well. If you are just getting started and you need help building a print-on-demand store, I do have a free print-on-demand course. It is called POD for Dummies. There is a link down in the description. And here is the journal, and like I said, it is a faux leather journal. It actually has some pretty decent weight to it. I'll drop it on the desk and let you hear it. Pretty decent weight. Again, this is not a flimsy journal. This is a very hard cover. I can hardly bend it. We do have some nice lined heavyweight paper on the inside. We also have a space marker, basically this ribbon here. I'm not really sure what you would actually call this, a space marker or something like that. But again, the cover is a faux leather cover. It is very nice. It is smooth to the touch. It actually has a nice smell to it as well. Of course, you guys cannot smell it on the actual video. But again, it is a very nice journal. It has a great weight to it. Like I said, the paper is very nice. It is lined on the inside, and your design goes right here on the front cover. And before we jump in and do a tutorial on making designs for this, I want to talk through some niche concepts as well as some tips that I have for you when it comes to making your designs. The first tip would be to avoid doing things where it is only text on your journal. You should try to add some graphics or some shapes or even pictures and different images of things that are relevant to the niche that you're selling to. This would basically be a tip that I would give to you no matter what you were selling. A lot of times, if you are just making a design where it is only text, the design is going to be lackluster in some way. On the flip side as well, I would try to not create designs that are only graphics. I would always try to make sure that you have some text on the design. There is a fine line between having a design that is too boring with text only or even with graphics only, and in general, I would recommend you to always make sure that you do a blend of both. What I'd also say with this specific product here is to keep your colors to a minimum. You can see here that this design looks pretty good because it doesn't have too many colors on it. However, I could see with this faux leather being what you are printing on, I could see it being a little bit off-putting or maybe not looking that great if there was a lot of colors on this design. In general, I would use like blacks and whites and maybe a couple other colors in your designs, but that's it. The next tips I have are all about the niche that you're selling to. You can see that this store here has done something extremely creative. This journal is being marketed to allow people to write letters to their child, right? It says, "Letters to my little boy as I watch you grow," right? And the idea would be that the parent is going to write letters to the little boy, giving this to them as a gift when they get older. We also see a concept like this, ideas I had while filmmaking. Basically, as someone's going about their day and they have different ideas, they can use this to jot them down. I also found this option here where basically someone who had a relative pass away, they could write letters to them that they wish they could tell them in this journal. And it kind of brings some utility to the niche. I would say if you are creating custom journals, doing unique things like this could be a great option for you. I also had the idea that you could create Bible study journals as well with this same sort of mentality. I even came here into ChatGPT and told it that I would was basically looking for some ideas that are similar to some of the ones that I talked about earlier. You can see here that I wrote, I am selling journals with a design on the front that is all about the journal being something that someone can write letters to their son or daughter. You get it. You can see the rest of it there. I then asked if it could give me 25 different ideas, and it did. It says letters to my future self, conversations I wish we had, thoughts I only say to God, dreams I am chasing, and so on and so on and so on. Basically what I'm saying is if you are doing something with these print-on-demand journals, try to do something unique. Don't just create a journal with a happy quote on the front and expect people to want to buy it. Doing unique things like this can help you to make even more sales. And this is ultimately what I would recommend you to try if you are getting started with journals. Now, as I mentioned, we are looking at the journal here inside of Shineon. Another thing that Shineon does that helps us to be even more successful with this is that they offer an extremely easy way to personalize our designs. You can see down here that they have this option to enable something called the artwork swapper. They do have a help article on it over here that you could check out. I would say to do that if you plan to do anything with personalization, which is ultimately going to be, in my opinion, another key to making great designs with journals. Now, when it comes to making the design inside of Shineon, you can see that they do have a template for us to actually download if we wanted to use it. You could also just create an image that is this size right here, and then you could make your design in whatever graphic design software you want. You could then come back in here and upload that file in. Shineon also has an artwork designer right here inside of their app. We are going to use that in a few moments. First, I just want to show you that they do have some really great mockups for this item. They have a preloaded description in here as well. Obviously, your design would go on these images. Down here are all of the mockups that are going to be available to us, which are honestly quite nice, and I think that they are much better than some of the other print-on-demand suppliers that offer journals, especially something like this right here. I think that mockups like this are definitely going to be a good way for you to actually make sales on this because the mockup is going to present the journal well. To make our design, we're going to click Open Artwork Designer right here, and again, this will open an artwork designer right inside of Shineon where we can upload various files to use inside of our design. We can also add custom text templates like this. Now, this is in beta, so depending on when you are watching this video, there could be a lot of different features inside of here. This is basically brand new from Shineon. I will put a link down in the pinned comment and in the description to Shineon in case you wanted to check them out. And basically, no matter what you are doing with your design, you could add one of these templates in and immediately begin creating a rather unique text on your design. Again, depending on what you are doing, you could type something on here. You could use Shineon's text templates here, basically customizing the design right here inside of Shineon. If we click Save and Continue at the top, we see a preview of what the design will actually look like. Now, obviously, like I said before, I would try to create designs that are not just text only, which means you're going to probably bring some graphics in, or like I said, you could just create your own design inside of whatever graphic design software you want. You could even bring an entire border to the entire journal as well, and ultimately create something that is really cool. And again, this is a premium item. It is a faux leather journal. You guys have seen the close-ups. It is a very nice product. Once we confirm the design, you can see that it goes into all of these mockups here, which we can then publish directly to our store. And ultimately, like I said, this is a decently profitable journal. If we scroll to the top here, you can see that Shineon recommends the selling price to be $29.95. The cost for this journal through Shineon is $17. Of course, if you had their Empire Builder subscription, you could get an additional $4 off. Without the subscription, you would be profiting about $13 per sale. If you sold 5 of those per day over an entire month, that would be over $2,000 in profit per month. And like we saw here, there are stores like this here on Etsy that are selling this product for more than that recommended price. They are getting some reviews on their journals as well. We also found this Shopify store here, which does seem to be doing pretty well, and they are selling it for a few dollars more than that. So I would recommend you to maybe try a couple of different price points and see what works well for you. So let me know what you guys think of this journal down in the comments below. Typically here on my channel, I make videos about very high profit items. This one here is a little bit on the lower end, but I do think it is unique, and that's why I wanted to make this video for you today. So let me know your thoughts. Is this something you would sell? Yes or no? And I'll see you in the next video.